Alright, folks. Today we're going to be breaking down earnings season. Um, we're pretty early in earnings season. We've still got at least a couple more weeks to go. So let's just dive right into it. But before we do, let's just take a look at earnings.cc real quick because it's an excellent place to stay fresh with earnings info. And I'll show you what I mean. I unchecked these because they take up space, and this page has to limit itself to 100 reports, otherwise it'll chew up all your RAM. But you can notice by the timestamp here that as soon as a company reports, it shows up on this web page within like low single-digit minutes. So you don't have to go to the SEC. You don't have to go to all these ridiculous websites that jerk you around and take forever to load. Just go to earnings.cc and stay abreast of who's reporting what when. Speaking of which, let's just take a quick look at GameStop before we dive into our S&P 500 earnings breakdown, the dissection of the index earnings. Now, GameStop, they reported two 10QAs. What does that mean, folks? It means it's an amendment. Let's just see what they amended. Oh, okay. It's just a bunch of officer stuff. So it's nothing really financial. It's just kind of like administrative. Let's just see what they reported though. So for those of you that are unfamiliar, GameStop was a meme stock during the latest global emergency. And I mean, they're kind of a joke. Because they don't really have a functional business model. They're basically supported by nostalgic feelings, from what I understand. I mean, there's no real purpose to have a brick and mortar video game store. So, as an outsider who I don't really participate in video gaming, so as an outsider, it kind of seems like GameStop is more of a club, like there are similar groups, like there are the non-video gaming community, right? They play board games or like those magic cards and Dungeons and Dragons, and like they have these clubs, and they'll often have like a brick and mortar store, like these Warhammer stores. Warhammer isn't very popular where I live. But, for example, when I go to other parts of the country or to the USA, I'll see these Warhammer stores. And, I mean, they must have insane profit margins to stay in business. But again, it's not about the product, it's about the club, the community. Anyways, so let's just get back into this analysis because I'm kind of ranting. But notice how their cash just exploded, right? This was a result of heavy inflows because of all the attention they were getting because of this meme behavior that happened to coincide with a lot of people being at home and being online, and a lot of government money floating around. Anyways, so let's see, they're quarter over quarter, they're down like from 1,200 to 800, in sales. They actually made 15 million bucks, interestingly. Let's see what this one says. See, now these are different. Like, what the hell? Like, you're starting to see why they call this a meme stock, right, folks? Statement of operations, like, look at these numbers are different. I just want to point out that these were reported minutes apart. I haven't really looked into this. Maybe these are different reports or something, but I don't know, like just right off the bat, these guys aren't really inspiring a whole lot of confidence. You know what I'm saying? So enough of these meme stocks that don't count. Let's get into some serious business. So in case you haven't picked up, this is my website. So if you guys have any tips, leave them in the comments. This is a work in process. This really is the first iteration. I haven't made any changes to it since I put it live in July. So this is still the first iteration, and I'm already working on stuff in the background to improve it. So keep an eye on that. Anyways, let's get into the real analysis here. So what are we gonna start with? We're gonna start with S&P earnings history and estimates. Okay, so bear with me, folks. I'm just running the script right now. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna run through a few different versions of these visualizations, and if you guys have the patience for it, I'd like some feedback. We're looking at matplotlib charts versus plotlies. So what are we looking at? This is the quarterly, and this is the trailing 12-month S&P 500 EPS estimates. Now, 28% of the S&P 500 has been reported so far, so these numbers are still subject to a lot of change, but we're going to be tracking them, okay? If you like this, check in with me weekly, because this is what we're going to be looking at. So we've got our actuals in orange, and the estimate is coming in the green or the teal or whatever, right? So we're pretty tight. We're off by like 50 cents. Here, $6 here. All in all, let's just see how that relates to the actual index itself. Yeah, there you go, folks. So this is going back to 1993, so we're looking at 30 years of history here. The bars are monthly, okay? So just bear that in mind. It'll become more interesting as we roll through the graphs. So let's just check out that Plotly version of that same chart. Now, this doesn't really show anything game-changing, folks, but you'll see as we move into the line charts that these numbers really correlate a lot with the long-term history. So again, it's just a different style of showing the same information. I'd appreciate it if somebody threw some comments downstairs, Tell me which one looks better from your perspectives. You know what I mean? So this is the matplotlib line chart. So again, you can see the history here. We're going back to like 1988 or whatever, so a little bit longer than this. The dotted section here represents the fact that those are future looking estimates, right? So Q3, it ends right here. There's a little bit of gap here, but these are going into 2025, right? So let's take a look at the Plotly version. Plotly is a little bit more interactive. Let's just see what we got here. Alrighty. So here we've got the trailing 12 months. Again, you can see the range is in the 200s. So they're forecasting some pretty optimistic projections for the next year. And who's they? It's the S&P indices, it's the S&P Dow Jones. These are their forecasts. I'm just visualizing them here for all you folks. Again, this is the quarterly, so the range is in the $50 to $60 EPS per quarter. Again, you can see projections are fairly optimistic. We're loosely in line with what's going on here. But if you look at the yield, like this, you can't see here because it's going to be way too small for you folks. But this line down here represents the yield. Now, I don't know how legit these old, like 25, 30-year-old yields are from the mid-90s, but you can see we're basically just scraping above zero. We're really historically tight in terms of yields on the S&P. So what does that mean? It probably means we're looking for a short or medium term correction. You know, we all know that in the long term, the S&P, it just keeps going up because it represents the most productive entities on the face of the earth. But when you see, tightening like this, we're starting to get extended. Anyways, let's move on through the analysis. What are we going to look at next, folks? We're going to look at some forward schedule stuff. There we go. Alright, so again, we're working with matplotlib here. So this is visualizing for us what happened last week, because they still haven't refreshed their data to reflect the passing of time. But last week we had really heavy industrial financials reporting, healthcare, consumer discretionary, IT. Okay, that's what this shows last week. This is a little heat map. So again, last week we had a lot of reporting. Thursday during the daytime, Wednesday during the daytime, Tuesday during the daytime. Let's just move through these and get into the future, folks. It's a little tree map again, just showing where the heavy reporting was. I got another little word cloud here. Okay, so this is next week, folks. So next week, what are we going to see? Very light consumer services or communications. Sorry about that. Very light communications. Heavy real estate, industrials, and IT. Okay, that's what we're seeing next week, folks. When are we going to see it? We're going to see a lot of action starting Wednesday. Let's just spread this out a little bit. Wednesday during the daytime. Even Tuesday after close. We're going to start seeing some action Tuesday after close. Wednesday during the daytime, healthcare, industrials. Wednesday after close, financials, industrials, IT, real estate. Thursday daytime, healthcare, industrials, utilities. That's next week, folks. Thursday after close starts to cool down going into the weekend. Okay. Again, this is looking at next week, folks. So we got IT, industrials, real estate, consumers, healthcare, financials, utilities. Let's check out the word cloud. Again, this is next week, folks. Storage, brown, energy. Okay. Alright, let's check out the week after. So this is the week in 10 days, folks. The week coming up in 10 days. We're starting to thin out volumes. Heavy hitters are going to be healthcare, energy, IT. When is that going to happen? Earlier in the week. Let's see. Let's spread this out a bit. Monday after the close. Tuesday daytime. Wednesday after the close. Thursday after the close. Definitely going to be a quieter week. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe we'll get some more stuff added to it. If you look through my videos, you'll see this is the first time I've ever done this, so it's going to be interesting to see how the reports evolve week over week. Once again, this is the week out, not next week, but 10 days out, folks, okay? And there's your word cloud. Let's just see what that looks like with Plotly. Again, that was matplotlib. So let's just see what that looks like with Plotly. And again, I'm really hoping for some feedback in the comments on these S&P earnings season breakdowns, these S&P earnings season dissections. Okay, so again, let's start with last week, heavy in industrials. Okay, 25. Wow, 15 in financials, 12 healthcares. How is it distributed? A lot of action on Thursday. Some action on Tuesday, and a little bit in between. 9, 7, 3, 5, 4, 4, 3. Again, I'm looking for feedback on which version you guys like better. This is the Plotly version. The ones that I showed before were Matplotlib. They're basically the same, just slight differences in how they appear and the stuff that I can show. You can see these Plotly ones are a little bit more interactive. So this is next week, folks. Heavy hitters. Again, it's going to be Thursday. Basically Tuesday after the close, going into Thursday daytime is going to be the high volume periods. Again, IT, utilities, real estate, financials, healthcare. Those are going to be your industrials. Those are going to be your heavyweights for next week. Real estate, industrials, IT. And this is week 3, so this is the week coming up in 10 days, folks. Again, heavy healthcare, energy, IT. Thursday after the close, Tuesday daytime, Monday after the close, Wednesday after the close. Healthcare, that's the heavy hitter for next week, folks. Or sorry, the week in 10 days. Healthcare. So that's it, folks. I hope you liked this. If you did, you know what buttons to push. I will likely be doing reports like this roughly weekly. I can do them more frequently if I get the attention. If you guys give me 1,000 views, I don't know. Maybe we'll make them more interesting. And I don't know. Hope you guys have a great day.